From New York, part two. Snake Plissken is back. I remember years ago making fun of San Francisco and what was taking place there. Then came de Blasio, and here we're at today. And everybody's trying to make heads or tails out of this. The Democratic establishment, the Republicans think that they've got a big win. The reality is both parties are big losers. In fact, quite frankly, we're all losers on this one. Mandami. I knew he was going to win the race when I watched the debate between the various different candidates. And each and every candidate on that DNC stage said the exact same thing except one. The question was asked, what is the first city or first country you're going to visit once you win? Everyone was, oh, I've been to Israel this many times. I'm most certainly going to go to Jerusalem. I'm going here. I'm going to Jerusalem. I'm going to Israel. And they all bending over backwards, basically kissing Israel's ass, except one candidate, and that's the one that won. He said, I'm not going anywhere. He said, I'm going to stay in New York City, and I'm going to deal with the problems of New Yorkers and fill potholes. From that moment in time, I knew he was going to win. He basically rolled out the Barack Obama hope and change playbook, and he did a great job with it. Cuomo barely even tried. It was like basically going through the motions, and we all know the problems that he had. But Mandami is pretty much inevitable. And, I think we'll probably see more characters like him pop up around the country. The interesting thing is that you actually took a look at the internals. The internals in the polls. It wasn't the people from the boroughs. It wasn't the working class, as we like to call them, the working class. It wasn't the people taking the subway in from Whitestone and Queens and the Bronx. No, it was the people from Manhattan. And it's interesting why this might be the case. Some people are saying, hey, gee whiz, maybe it's because they're not teaching kids properly in schools what socialism is all about. Mind you, the amount of Google searches for what socialism is went through the roof after the race in New York City. I kid you not. Hope and change works every single time it's tried. I learned it when I was in sixth grade. I know I've told the story before here on the podcast. I lost a class election in sixth grade to a young lady who promised that our entire class was going to go to Disney World. That's right, Disney World over spring break. Now, mind you, went to a public school in upstate New York. That wasn't happening by any stretch of the imagination. But it didn't matter. Didn't matter. That was hope and change for my sixth grade classmates back in the day. So my name is promising up. We're going to get rid of police officers, replace them with social workers. It's going to be free bus rides. He's going to put in more rate stabilization, get the rents down. There was actually a guy who ran on that back against Bloomberg, if I'm not mistaken. His whole thing was the rent is too damn high. Well, the rent is too damn high. I did an inflation adjusted comparison to when I first moved into New York City over 30 years ago compared to today. And again, I had a railroad apartment, Upper East Side, 82nd Street between East End and York Avenue, and it was fine. I had two roommates at the time. My rent then was $1,300 a month, split between the three of us. The average rent right now is well over $4,000 for New York City. And again, if I wanted to inflation adjust it for what I paid, I would have basically been $2,500 back in the day. So again, it's pretty high. It's pretty high. And that's not the only thing that's high. Everything is high. Groceries are high. Subway rides are $2.90. And kids graduating from college, making over six figures, you're not saving a dime. In fact, you probably got to get help from mom and dad if you're living in New York City, especially if you've got student loans. Throw that in there. Again, kids got accustomed to not paying their student loans since COVID. Now they have to pay. and they're feeling it. They're feeling it. I mean, every statistic out there, you can look at every damn statistic out there when it comes to wages here in this country, and they basically haven't gone anywhere in 50 years. The cost of living has gone through the roof. We're $37 trillion in debt. We continue to print money. And both the left and the right both say that they've got the answer to the problem, right? Republican Party. I want to see left or right. I'll say the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. And what do we get? Um, every president, every administration, flip Congress, doesn't make any difference. They spend more. We go further into debt. We drop bombs. Um, Again, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. It's boring, man. I mean, quite frankly, it's boring. Anybody that wants to, basically put out in essence, a juxtaposition to do something completely different, do a 180 from what's going on, they got a good chance of winning. Again, go back to 2016. Go back to 2016. It was supposed to be Trump versus Bernie Sanders, right? Supposed to be Trump versus Bernie Sanders. This guy is the Bernie Sanders for New York City. Again, the Democrats thwarted Bernie Sanders' campaign and installed Hillary Clinton, and she lost to Trump. Again, promising things that were completely out of the ordinary. But are we getting completely out of the ordinary anywhere? Have the prices of anything comes down? Because again, they keep telling us, yeah, there's inflation's way down, inflation is way down. Come on, people. Inflation keeps going up. People's costs keep going up. It is what it is. Again, many kids, youth of today, they don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. That's what they're feeling. That's what they're saying. That's the reality of the situation. That's the issue. They claim that, and so they keep saying, New Yorkers say it again and again and again. They say, geez, what's the greatest city in the entire world? It's not the greatest city in the entire world. It's not even close to being the greatest city in the entire world. It's a joke. They keep telling themselves that. They can make themselves feel good. Land at JFK. And again, deal with all the traffic that's there. I know they're doing construction, and just take a look at the filth and the garbage that you're going to see, whether you're going out towards Long Island or whether you're going into the city in any direction. It's embarrassing. It's disgusting. That is the reality of New York City. It's not going to get any better under this guy. But what happens? What happens when there's no hope out there? You get characters like Mandami. You get characters like Hitler. You get characters well outside of the mainstream because, again, people, they don't have any hope and they're offering it. That's what they're selling. That's why this guy won. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.